Sars Commissioner Tom Moyane has dismissed claims that he's a pawn in the battle for control of the state, as some have alleged. This follows tension between him and Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan over, among other issues, restructuring at the Revenue Agency.
And I want to make it very clear here. I am not lackey to anybody. I'm a man of my own. I'm not owned by anyone. And therefore, when I deal with my colleagues, both in EXCO and the lowest level in the organization, I deal with them with respect. And I do things within the parameters of the law.
Well, Gordhan shared the podium with Tom Moyane at a press conference they held this afternoon. One of the journalists who worked on the Sars Wars story, Sam Soul, joins us. He apparently is facing, through his newspaper, the Mail and Guardian, a lawsuit over some of the details he explored in a story a short while ago. Let's get the details of exactly why the Mail and Guardian is facing a lawsuit over this. Sam Soul joins us at this hour from Durban. Sam, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. Just talk us through the detail of the allegations you've explored in this story.
I represent Amabungani, the Centre for Investigative Journalism. We're being sued together with the Mail and Guardian. The two reporters, myself and Craig McCune, were the ones who wrote the story. It was a story that appeared just before the Minister's budget speech, and it was based on interviews with unidentified members of SARS, in which they expressed quite extreme concern about the restructuring that was taking place in SARS under Mr. Moyane's control and direction, and particularly the impact it was having on what is called the Large Business Centre, which is the unit in SARS that deals with large corporations, high net worth individuals. In other words, the real large taxpayers. The people we spoke to believed that there was an attempt to, by the new guard, as it were, to centralize and gain control over decision-making around within the centre in order to obtain influence over settlement negotiations in these very large cases. Now, we put these allegations to SARS. We gave them nearly a week in which to respond. They chose not to respond. And now we're facing a 4 million rand claim in total from the Commissioner, his deputy, and SARS itself.
You've also named an individual called Jonas Makwakwa in this report. Why is he of interest?
Look, he's is somebody who was promoted by Commissioner Moyane to essentially be his number two. Part of the story is about, and it's something other media have reported on, is about the quite dramatic changes that took place at the top level of SARS shortly after Commissioner Moyane came in, and driven by allegations that were published in the Sunday Times about a so-called rogue unit that had been bugging President Jacob Zuma. And these media allegations were, in a sense, used as the reason for Commissioner Moyane to investigate and in fact, suspend people, and then other people resigned or took early retirement, etc. So there was a huge loss of experience at the top of SARS, and this is partly what piqued our interest to start with.
I understand there are two particular cases which this individual, Jonas Makwakwa, took in hand. Can you speak specifically about those to us? I think the article says that there was some specific concern about SARS. And I'm not going to specify the individuals, because in some cases there was more than one individual. Their intervention in some cases, and the ones that were mentioned in the article and that are the subject of part of this case against us were involving the multinational Old Mutual financial services company, involving the Durban businesswoman Sean Mpisani,
and also another businessman with links to the ANC and the president's family, Taiwanese-born Robert Huang. And the interactions between SARS and those three people were referred to in the article, critically and with concern. And SARS is accusing us of exposing taxpayer information illegally by reporting on that fact.
So aside from what SARS is accusing you of, has there been any official investigation launched into the allegations which were made in your report?
Not as far as we are aware. It is significant that this whole story is bound up in the conflict between Mr. Moyane and the Minister Pravin Gordhan. It is significant that when he was reappointed Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan issued a request to Commissioner Moyane to stop this restructuring because of concerns that it was having or might have a detrimental effect on SARS. Commissioner Moyane, as we understand it, as reported in the Sunday Times, took his own legal advice and took the view that he had already discussed this with the previous Finance Minister and he was within his rights to proceed. But I think the fact that the Finance Minister was so concerned about some of these developments that he said, please stop so that we can investigate what's going on, and the basis for these changes is indicative of the fact that, it's not only ourselves, not only people, disgruntled people, so-called, within SARS who are raising this this issue. It's an issue that is raised concern at the level of the Finance Ministry.
Thank you so much for putting us in the picture. I'm a Bungane journalist, Sam Soul.